very rough test run, as you can see. Even though this is a very, very rough test run, my eyelash is coming off too. I thought I would at least get some use out of this, this cosplay look at the moment. I'm going to do, I have several St. Trina videos, sleep videos planned that I will look much more put together for, with a nicer wig and everything, but this can be kind of fun in the meantime. Just some like whispered rambles, and I can show you my little purple lily that I painted as well. But I really just wanted to get on here and like whisper about Nightreign, about Elden Ring Nightreign, even though I know St. Trina is not in Nightreign. That's basically what's been consuming my life right now, so you know, they're connected in a way at least. But yeah, I just wanted to chit-chat about it with you all, because I absolutely love Nightreign. It's definitely not something that I can see myself playing a whole lot now that I've like pretty much done everything I can do in it. I am getting on like once a week for the, the Dark Sovereign extra hard bosses. So far I beat both the gaping, what's his name? Adele, the big gaping jaw, is that it? The gaping jaw guy. And Fulgur, who I absolutely freaking hate. Oh my gosh, that stupid centaur is my absolute least favorite boss in the game. But I've actually beaten the Dark Sovereign version twice. I can't believe it. But I also have this purple brush that I thought I could brush your face with a bit too, for some extra tingles while we chit chat. But yeah, I am not at all a online multiplayer game person at all. Like, I like to do my games in solitude, in peace by myself. I also am someone who takes forever to play games. Like, if I could never be a streamer, people would get so annoyed and like bored with the way I play games, because I like to take my time. I like to explore. I like to, you know, consider my options and test things out, which is like the total opposite of what Nightreign is. And I was so frazzled when I first started playing it. Luckily, those first few days, I would say the first week actually, it was so good. It was like, you know, of course, like the people who are truly really big fans of Elden Ring and Soulsborne type games playing, and a lot of people who were really good, and I think people who also had access to the game early, who really knew what they were doing. So I was like, alright, I'm just gonna follow all of these people, and you know, it's like I know how to fight, I know all the buttons I press for like beating up enemies, so I'll let them, you know, just guide me to the right places. And I was so nervous that I was gonna screw up and people were gonna hate me, and I know a lot of people hate that you don't get voice chat and stuff in the game, but I love it. I do not want to talk to people online. Like, I like the anonymity and like not knowing who I'm playing with. You know, like I don't want to know anything about the person I'm playing, not even their voice. And also I like communicating without words. You know, I do think for the most part they give us the tools we need to communicate with each other in Nightreign. There are some things I think would be easier most part work together and don't make really stupid decisions, and not just like newbie decisions, but just stupid decisions, like where you clearly are indicating to them, we need to go here, we need to get a freaking healing flask, not go bite a deathrite bird or whatever. And they just like are so insistent to do their own thing. I've actually, especially the first week, like once I really got the hang of things, there were times when I was clearly with people who were new, like to Nightreign, like they probably played Soulsborne games before because they were, you know, they were perfectly fine at the actual combat, but between like actually fighting enemies, they clearly, you know, were kind of like, what do we do next? And I was, you know, I remember I led us down into the mines, in the volcano or whatever, the mines, the volcano and the forge, and got us our, what is it, the legendary, is it a legendary weapon upgrade or an actual legendary weapon? I can't remember. But we completed the volcano forge thing, and we beat the Nightlord, whoever it was that we were fighting, and I didn't carry us, but I guided us the whole way, and it was so satisfying being able to do that with some people who it was obvious they were kind of newbies, and I know they were because they behaved the same way I did when I very first started playing, where I was like, please someone just tell me where to go, I don't know where to go. And so that's actually very satisfying. And then sometimes you'll get with those randos where it's just like the synergy is just so perfect, it's just so there, and you all just click, and again, you don't even need to speak to each other, just work together so well. I love it. It makes those few times when I have been paired up with people who are like absolute jerks so worth it, and I do mean jerks, and like I feel like it's so funny because I'm just thinking to myself, these have to be like some preteens, like some little shit-faced 13-year-olds playing with me right now, because what adult would behave this way in a game? And what I mean is like, they wouldn't revive me when I died. This was like, you know, at the very start of a new expedition or whatever, and even if you're good at the game, you know, when you only are at like level 2 or 3, you still have pretty low health, especially if you're someone like Duchess or Revenant or whatever. So all it takes is like, you know, one big hit that you don't dodge perfectly for you to, you know, just have your whole HP depleted. But, you know, that happened to me where it's like I got knocked out and they just wouldn't revive me. And I don't mean like I was like way far away and they couldn't get to me or something, or not even like they didn't know they could revive me, because I know that I specifically revived one of them when they got knocked out, and I think one of them like started to try and revive me but then like decided not to. It's like they just ran right past me. They were fighting right next to me, like, and I know that reviving people can be kind of wonky with like, you know, whether you're actually hitting them. No, they were clearly just ignoring me, and it happened like a couple times, and I was just like, I'm not gonna put up with this. I do not drop out of games. Like, there are people who, you know, quit if something just goes south and everything is like, no, I have like seen like almost every single expedition like to the end or till we die, because I feel like just have respect for the people you're playing with, you know, like don't be a jerk and leave just because, you know, one bad thing goes wrong. I just decided to leave. I'm like, I'm not gonna play with assholes who aren't even going to support their team. It pissed me off so much. But I was like, these have to be some like little jerk 13-year-olds. And I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to talk to 13-year-olds at all. Anyway, I don't want to talk to kids. I don't want to talk to adults. Nothing. Like, no. The only people I would want to talk to is if I was actually playing with people I know. That was a very long rant. Oh my god. I feel like this eyelash keeps getting droopier as I'm going through. Oh, it looks a little better. This cosplay is looking pretty good right now, but it's also sort of, God, whispering all of the different, like all of my favorite usernames of the people I've played with. Off the top of my head, one of my favorites is, I think this is actually one of the first people I played with, first randoms I was matched with. I don't think we beat the Nightlord we went up against, but I think we got very close to beating them. It was someone playing as an executor, and it was no limbs for you, spelled with the number 4. And I don't know, just especially someone like playing as the executor with that name, just I thought it was especially funny and cute, so I like that a lot. I played with someone named Goonlord. I'm pretty sure that I beat the Nightlord I was up against with Goonlord. That was a funny one. Oh, I played with someone who was a raider whose name was Big Bonk. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Raider. At least I don't get matched up with people playing as Raider very often. But like a lot of times I feel like when I've been struggling to beat a Nightlord, it's like suddenly one of the really good teams I'm on has a Raider and someone who's able to play him really well too. And I'm surprised more people don't play as him, because I personally didn't think I would like playing as him because I don't like tanks. But he's very fast for a tank, which is nice. I feel like he's playing as Raider feels like what it would be to get to play as Godfrey. Like, Godfrey is massive, muscle beefcake guy, but he moves so fast. And so it's very refreshing to be able to just like withstand so many hits, but also move really fast. Unlike Guardian, who I've come to appreciate, but really struggled playing as at the beginning. But yeah, Raider is so much fun, and I feel like he's pretty easy to play as too. So I'm surprised more people don't play as him. Of course, a ton of people play as Iron Eye. I do love Iron Eye, and let me say, while Iron Eye is one of the easiest characters to play as, especially for beginners, most people, at least who I have played with, who have been in Iron Eye, do not play him well, because they think that you can just sit in the background and shoot arrows and you're fine. And first of all, most of the Nightlords always are aggroed by whoever's doing like range damage, so they're gonna come after you anyway. But like, to be a really good Iron Eye, you need to be able to get up close to the enemy and mark them. Like, if you're a good Iron Eye, there's like no excuse for not having a enemy marked 95% of the time. Especially if you can use one of the rune stones where you can use your skill twice. You get like the extra skill and you can mark like twice as many times. It's so good. And let me say, I can brag, I'm an amazing Iron Eye. Amazing. Like, I'm playing as Iron Eye and I'm like, I am so badass, because I get up in there and I get close, and like, you know, like, marking isn't just a skill to mark the enemy either. Like, I have popped my own mark bubble thing by like using the mark action on the enemy. Like, it's an attack too, and it's also a dodge, because you can like go right through the enemy, so you can get up really close to, you know, really powerful enemies that are like, you know, if you time it right, they can be about to do really major damage to you, but then you can mark them and go right through them, and I do that very, very well. I am an excellent, amazing Iron Eye, let me just say. But yeah, a lot of people don't play him well. I played with someone who was Iron Eye, who, I'm serious, and I don't know how we managed to do this, is a story for a different day. We somehow managed to defeat the Nightlord. It was a wild ride. I don't know how we did it, but we did. But I do not think this Iron Eye marked a single enemy the entire expedition. It was very frustrating. Yeah, that's a expedition that I could make a whole separate video on. But it just seemed like a lot to think about in the midst of such a fast-paced game where I was already quite frazzled at the time. But then I ended up really loving Recluse. Like, I beat a Nightlord on one of my first, not my very first, but like my first several expeditions as Recluse, and I was shocked. And I did really well as her too. And also, just in regular Soulsborne games, I never play like magic build or whatever. I don't like having to manage, manage my FP, and I also feel like it just doesn't feel as good as like smacking around an enemy with a sword or whatever. So I never play as a magic build, so I didn't think I would like it for that reason either, but oh my gosh, I had so much fun as Recluse. I was also very intimidated by Revenant and ended up loving her too. I really did come to appreciate all of the characters in a way, because I beat all of their remembrance quests, so, you know, I had to do at least somewhat decent as each character in order to beat Nightlords, playing as them. So even if there's characters that I probably won't be playing on a regular basis, I came to somewhat enjoy each of them in their own way. But yeah, I finally calmed down on Nightreign, and then had to go straight from that. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm free from my shackles. I can get back to real life. And it's like, oh no, wait, Lies of P DLC dropped like out of nowhere, like just like a week after Nightreign came out. Oh my gosh, that was so annoying. And as much as I've been looking forward to Lies of P, because I actually think it's hard. I think they might be tied, because even though, you know, Lies of P is a Soulsborne game, they are still very different, and the things I love so much about Lies of P are quite different from Elden Ring. But Lies of P is close to being better than Elden Ring for me, which I can't believe. So I've been dying for this DLC to finally come out, and then I open YouTube one day and see like the launch trailer is posted on there. I'm like, what? It was like midnight, and I was like, I can't deal with this right now. So I just like, I'm like, I need to get through Nightreign and do all the stuff I want to do, get all of my lore in Nightreign and stuff, and then I can get to Lies of P. And I actually just finished the DLC yesterday, and it was fabulous. I got most of the stuff I wanted to see in it. I wish we got something with Romeo. Like, I wish I could get a scene of him where he's not just like halfway dead, or, you know, something like that. Like, I wish I could have seen like him actually interacting with Leia. Oh, I guess that was a spoiler right now. Sorry, I will put something in the description that there's Lies of P spoilers in this. But yeah, I wish we could have gotten actual, I just want to see him, like, talk to someone or interact or something, because I've really loved Romeo, based on the first game. Once you're able to, like, decode his message that he has for, Carlo, or Geppetto's puppet, or whatever you want to call him, where he's just, like, repeating, like, we're best friends, I'm Carlo's best friend, over and over again. That is the thing, along with, like, just listening to the soundtrack after I was done playing that night. That is the thing that sent me into just, like, a crying fit one night. Like, I was just so emotional and moved by that scene. It was my second playthrough too, so I had already seen it once, but it just got to me so much this time. And it's like, oh, this game just does something to me, so I've because one of the amazing things about Lies of P is that the lore is so good. The story is so good. Like it felt like I was addicted to finding out what happened next, which I didn't. I love the lore and everything of Elden Ring and Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff. I did not feel addicted the way that I felt in Lies of P. And I'm like, I don't have time for this shit. I don't have time to deal with this boss. I need to lower this so I can like learn what happens. I'll come back and fight the boss on like the high difficulty later. So I did adjust it, but like I feel like I've beaten the game, like the base game, and then beat it a second time on New Game Plus. At what is considered the highest difficulty because they didn't have difficulty levels at the time. So I'm like, I got nothing to prove. Like I would like to go and play through it again at the highest difficulty and actually complete it that way. But yeah, I just needed to know what happened, and I was so excited to get to the Rose Estate. I was a little disappointed at the Rose Estate. I can get into details some other time. But I was like super excited to go there and see that. I love exploring like big mansions and stuff so much in games. But yeah, so I just finished Lies of P DLC, and then right after I finished that is when I actually beat Fulgore, the Dark Sovereign Fulgore, for the first time. Right after that, I was like, let me just give it a try. And I couldn't believe that I beat him with a couple of randos like usual. So I wonder who will be next. Honestly, I'm not really worried about beating any of the others. He was one where I was like, I really don't want to try that many times to beat him. Like, if I just can't beat the Dark Sovereign Fulgore, like, I'm good. I hate this boss. But I feel like the other ones are gonna be a cakewalk after him. We'll see how Libra is. I actually find the Libra fight pretty easy. Or easier than Fulgore, at least. It's a matter of getting matched up with people who are good at fighting Libra. It's a difficult part because I don't like to play the game alone. It's not fun playing alone. But I actually find that boss to be much easier than Fulgore. So I'm not worried about that one. I think all the other bosses should hopefully be easier than this one. We'll see though. I actually really enjoy what's the jellyfish one that everyone hates, and I think it's so sad everyone hates it. I love it. It feels chill. It feels like just like I don't know, I'm just like relaxing the whole time. I don't mind the boss that much at all. So I know that's kind of a hot take, but oh well. But yeah, I've had so much fun playing it. I'll be excited to see what the DLC for Nightreign turns out like. People have talked about like what other Nightfarers we might get to play as. I think it would be so funny if we got to play as, what is it, the Iron Menial, the little like puppet butler guy in the Round Table Hold. Especially since we've seen how those guys like operate and fight in Elden Ring. Like, they just go berserk with like their mechanics and stuff, and like swinging around their swords and everything. I think it'd be so funny to be able to fight as them and do that, So I would like to see that. I saw someone else mention, I forgot what content creator what this was, but they're like, where's Patches? I know this is like a spin-off of Elden Ring, but shouldn't Patches still be somewhere in here? He's in like every Soulsborne game. So I forgot if it was them or if it was someone else, but the idea was brought up to have Patches as a playable character, and like all of the like fighting style and skills and ultimate art, it's all like really wacky stuff, and like not just things to like fight enemies